almost like they're in a zone, a 2-3 zone. But they're actually man-to-man. But they're just switching as guys come together offensively.
Everything down.
Welcome to Miniland,
Switch
the heart.
by TNT's defense. Sultana has the touch, sends it out to Nambata. And now it's import versus import. Hollis Jefferson for 3. No. Rebound for Holt. (16) on the shot clock for Barangay Ginebra. Rosario against Sultana. Japet with 4 points in the game. Hand off to Troy. Up top to Scotty. Brownlee now, posting up at the elbow. Double team ready for RHJ. The pass inside. Easy bucket for Rosario.
With all the switching defense going on by TNT, they're losing their men sometimes. That's leading to easy baskets for Ginebra.
And Barangay Ginebra is the type of squad who will make you pay for any sort of daylight. As Pagoy penetrates inside. The fall-away jumper won't work. Kelly Williams. Blocked by Scotty Thompson, but the ball will stay on the side of TNT. 12 in the shot clock.
Scotty Thompson is a point guard that plays like a big guy. He rebounds the ball really well. You can see him defensively right there blocking that shot. He's a good all-around player.
Deadlocked at 6 apiece. As Oftana launches and converts that 3 early triple for TNT.
That's always a good sign for TNT if Oftana gets off early from that 3-point line.
JB, easy does it for Brownlee as he responds with a mid-range jumper.
And you ask yourself, is it the arena? Because all of a sudden, everybody can shoot.
Oftana up top. Turns the corner. Oftana with a quick getaway for 2.
We are not going to have a 70-point game tonight.
Absolutely, Coach. 11-8 off of the hot start, the 3-point lead for TNT. Brownlee, once again, versus Pagoy, his initial defender. Double team comes. Rosario squeezes his way inside, but he misses the one-hander. Couple of tough misses for Troy early in this game. Hollis Jefferson, the hook pass, 3 for Oftana. Can't make it. Good pace early in this matchup as well as Holt will pull it back out. They're asking Rosario to clear out as they swing it to Scotty. They switch the ball screen. Thompson to Japet. Only 4 to shoot. Great defense from TNT. Kelly Williams with the takeaway. Nambata will not pull the trigger just yet. A lot of time remaining in their shot clock. As Ronde is asking for it down low, the double team comes for him. They'll force him to be a passer. Someone is open. TNT could not locate him quickly. Oftana, top jumper, well covered by JB.
A good defense by Ginebra that time. All over the court.
Brownlee, one-on-one against R.R. Pagoy. Good hands from R.R. Brownlee to Japet. That's his spot. Can't make it. Holt with the offensive rebound. Stephen misses the layup. Another stop here for the Tropang Giga. Nambata putting the moves on Japet. Does not hit the mid-range J.
And just as I said, everybody was shooting well. All of a sudden, both teams are going cold here.
Approaching the midway mark now of our opening quarter. Again, we thank you for joining us here on PBA Rush and Filipinas Live. Brownlee against Pagoy, penetrating, kicking out, Holt, elbow jumper, won't get the bounce. Counter attack for TNT, quick spin. Pagoy creating space, great space.
Yeah. Good pumping up the move.
And that will lead us to our first time out of this ball game. Pagoy, a guard with big man moves, a step through, finishing off the glass, kissing it lightly enough to extend their lead to 5, 13-8 for TNT. Timeout Ginebra.
You're still watching Game 3 of the finals between Barangay Ginebra and TNT on PBA Rush. Looking back at Game 2, Coach Richard Del Rosario expressed that Barangay Ginebra's defense was truly key to equalize the final series. As he put it, our offense wasn't the best, but thankfully our defense made up for it. Credit as well to our players for doing a good job limiting TNT from beyond the arc, especially in that first half. But for Coach Richard, knowing the familiarity of these two coaches, it's a matter of elevating their game every chance that they get, which means making sure that they are mindful of keeping their tempo at bay, staying controlled, and communicating better on the defensive end as well. Starting Coach Norman, back to you.
Thank you for that report, Bea. As we resume action, 6 to work with for Barangay Ginebra. Kelly Williams staying in front of Scotty. Adjustment on the shot coming from Japet, and that will lead to another shot clock violation. After a timeout, Coach Timpone employed a drawn-up play, but TNT read it perfectly.
Well, he tried to go to Brownlee, but instead it ended up with Scotty Thompson, who passed to Japet Aguilar. But once again, the long arms of Hollis Jefferson on defense is really making a difference.
Ball screen action. Switch as usual, but switch back on defense for Stephen Holt. RHJ drives, the jumper won't work. Scotty with a rebound. 13-8, a 5-point lead. A curl and Japet. Oh, that could have been illegal, trying to get the rebound while hanging on the rim. Referee saying play on as TNT completes the stop anyway.
Now, Hollis Jefferson's defense has been stellar so far.
First substitutions about to come in for TNT and Kim Aurin and JP Era of Tana with a sweet advantage against Japet. Calvin drives baseline. The pass is stolen. Obatroy comes up hobbling. He's not 100%. He has pain on that right ankle. Let's see how fit he'll be throughout this match. Rosario, kick out pass. Hold, 3-point shot. No. Rebound claimed by Nambata. Good stop from both ends. RHJ could not attack early. But that pass slipped off of RHJ's fingers, turning it over right back to Barangay Ginebra.
And what you can see is Hollis Jefferson is really attacking from the middle of the court, almost a 1-2-2 formation. And the defense is there. The defense is helping every time he puts the ball down on the floor. So TNT is going to have to figure out a way to hit the wingmen with shots off the penetration of Hollis Jefferson.
Kim Aurin will now have the unenviable task of shadowing Justin Brownlee. But they switch off Tana on him now, and that's right, opening lead to a Brownlee triple.
That was a pretty poor switch there. So Tana was very slow reacting. That left Justin Brownlee wide open for the outside shot.
That's the exact shot you want to stop. Of the switch of Rodney Hollis Jefferson snaps it home.
That's another way of getting him going, right? Get him off the ball and get the ball to him on the move.
15-11, a 4-point advantage for the Tropang Giga. Brownlee against Oftana. JB on the post-up move. The head and shoulder fake, the short jumper. That's an and one for JB.
Oftana's not going to like that call, but he might have gotten him on the arm on the shot.
See this play one more time. Sharp pass coming from JP Era, leading to our best move of the game, brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. But right after that, Justin Brownlee shooting over the defense of Calvin Tana. He'll be taking the bonus free throw when we come back from this timeout. Back inside the Field Sports Arena for the first quarter of what has been a fun game 3 between TNT and Barangay Ginebra. That is Enrique Hill once again seeing action. The second best looking guy here in the Field Sports Arena, second to Coach Norman Black, of course. I'm Carlo Pimentuan, PBA Rush in Pilipinas Live. And we thank you for joining us. We should have an epic encounter between these two squads. RHJ with 5 points, Justin Bradley working on this bonus free throw after being fouled by Calvin Oftana on the last play.
Huela and Hoy Aram have checked in the game for the TNT team.
With Kim Orin, so that's 3 off the bench players now.
Of course, Malonzo and Abrientos have also come in for Ginebra.
15-14, only a 1-point game. Aram takes the handoff. He wants to go to RHJ. Finally, a touch for the import. Hollis Jefferson to the crossover. The free throw jumper is pure.
At that time, one-on-one defense there by Justin Brownlee. No help coming from the other players. And Hollis Jefferson scores.
Caruela tasked to hound Scotty Thompson in this ball game. Scotty on the attack, on the spin. Malonzo swings it. RHJ defending Brownlee. The 3 is a miss for JB. Over they call a foul on Eruela.
And that's the problem when you're guarding Scotty Thompson. He's such a good rebounder for a guard. As you try to face guard him, you don't know where the basketball is. He ends up going out of bounds on TNT.
Both teams doing a great job of limiting their fouls. 2 for TNT, only 1 for Barangay Ginebra here in the opener. Brownlee against Hollis Jefferson. Kick out pass. Malonzo for 3. That's good.
And you can hear the reaction of the fans. Malonzo coming into the game, making that three-pointer.
Did not score in game 2. We all know how fiery his offense was in their series against Northport. 17-17, deadlock now.
5 seconds left on that shot clock.
RHJ must make a move. Hollis Jefferson will run out of time. You see Coach Chotres barking out instructions, telling his squad exactly where it went wrong for them in that possession. Oh, that's a poor pass.
A bad pass there by Abrientos. And, with the team that Coach Chud has in the game right now, he doesn't really have the offensive weapons that he started the game with. Tana's still out there. Covington comes in the game now for Huela. So very short stint for Huela.
Minute 26 left in our opener. It was a hot start for both squads, but then the defense
has kicked in.
Yeah, absolutely. Oftana. To Glenn Cobuntin. He will attack. Glenn changes his mind. Oren passed up on the shot. Attacks inside. Cobuntin for 3. Won't work. Rebound Holt.
Well, Ginebra and their fans and the staff all asking for a traveling on that last play.
Brownlee now against Cobuntin. The familiar matchup. The help already waiting inside from RHJ. Another pass off coming from Barrientos. But Scotty can still make a move. What a find. The extra pass. Oh, that might be late. It was very, very close for Sherman.
And that's what Ginebra's known for. Making those passes at the last second for a wide open shot They have a 3-point lead.
Barangay Ginebra fans starting to make their presence felt here. Only 6 to work with. Ostana of the club, he's fouled. And the referee said that the foul will be on Scotty Thompson, his second personal foul.
And you can see what Coach Chuck Reyes is doing here. He gave Pagoy a very short rest. He's taking out Altana now. Ginebra going to challenge the last play. So they don't want Scotty to get that second foul.
Early challenge for Coach Tim. And this speaks volumes about just the value of Scotty Thompson and his minutes in the game.
Well, if he picked up that second foul this early, then he's going to have to go out of the game probably. Which, let's face it, weakens the Ginebra team when he's not out there. Pagoy is back in the game now for Altana. And I'm sure Coach Chuck will like this lull in the action because it'll give his guys a chance to take a little bit of a breather.
You say that with 13 seconds remaining in the first quarter, with 3 available fouls for Barangay Ginebra, they could use those up. But Coach Tim is never really the type of head coach who will lean on those fouls just to get him a stop here late in the first.
If you look at it statistically, since Tim Cohn's been coaching the Ginebra team, they're always last in fouls.
Yep.
And they never lead the league in fouls. They play good defense without fouling.
Those are always 2 statistics that come from Barangay Ginebra. Number 1 in the assists, and then number 12
They
in
don't
fouls.
commit fouls. That's correct. Despite the fact that they're always one of the top 3 defensive teams in the league.
He doesn't like it when his players gamble in terms of getting stops, as we are now ready to hear the official judgment.
That's an indication of good coaching.
Also, Barangay Ginebra. Barangay Ginebra is saying that there was a kickball first, but the kickball was not called, and that is not reviewable. And this was what we were pointing out earlier. When Stephen Holt released that shot, it looked like it was a tad too late. So the 3-point conversion will be waved off. You will see that the light will illuminate.
Wow, that was close. Very close.
Let go of that basketball. So one last adjustment coming from Coach Chot. No bigs.
So in the end, it's been a low-scoring first quarter. Started off fast, but slowed down.
Kim Oren, 6 to work with. The jumper won't go. And that will be the final shot attempt for TNT. We will end our first 12 minutes of action. Deadlock 17-17 inside the Field Sports Arena. This is Game 3 of the PBA 49th season Commissioner's Cup final.
You are still watching Game 3 of the finals between Ginebra and TNT. Coach Shard, back in Game 2, Ginebra held TNT to just 4 points in the second quarter. What will be crucial to bring that same level of defensive effort here in Game 4?
Well, we have to control their 3-point shots. I think if we can limit their 3-point baskets or even attempts, though, I would stay disciplined in locating their shooters. We'll have a good chance of bringing the score down and give us a chance also to execute our offense. So it's going to be key here in the first half.
Thank you so much, Coach Shard. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you for that interview, Ms. Bea Escudero. 7 of 16 for TNT, 7 of 17 for Barangay Ginebra. That's why we are deadlocked at 17 apiece here. Malonzo made a 3. Can he make another one? Yes, he can.
Hollis Jefferson is helping off of him in the lane, trying to make sure Brownlee doesn't get to the basket, but at the same time, Lonzo's hit 2 3-pointers already.
Let's see how that will force the defense of TNT to change things up. Kim Orin, great setup job. Kabuntin, counter 3. He knocks it down. Always important, coach, that you have other guys willing to take shots and chip in to the offense for TNT.
It's always important to have that good spacing so you can find the open man for those open shots.
Brownlee gets position deep, but he overcooks that short jumper. RHJ cross court pass to Oftana. Good shot fake, Oftana. Hadmisi was ready to bother that pass, stop it out of bounds, but the ball will stay with TNT.
We don't really note it, but Pagoy is a pretty good defensive player.
Yeah.
Imagine he has the task of having to guard Brownlee for most of the game. He does a pretty decent job on him.
20 apiece is the count. Bobuntin, the lone scorer for the second quarter. In game 2, not anymore here in game 3 as R.R. Pagoy hits the layup.
And that's what happens when you overplay too much. There are chances for you to get backdoored.
RJ Barrientos with RHJ on him. Brownlee stares at the clock. It reached 9. There's a switch. Brownlee sees it as a means to attack. He gets the bump from Aurin. And the bucket.
So Coach Judd is not happy over there on the sideline. There's a strong possibility he doesn't want that switch with Aram switching off to Brownlee. Sometimes the switches are unnecessary. Players can actually get back to their men.
UAP Season 87 Volleyball is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity channel on Sports and Pilipinas Live because legends start here. Still deadlocked, 22 apiece. After that miss from the free throw line. Bogoy uses the brush screen. Bogoy with a setup. Nampatak with a 3. Yeah, and he gets the bounce.
And once again, penetration by the TNT players leads to a wide open outside shot.
That will be a foul drawn by Maverick Ahagisi.
Well, the fans love it. Fouls on arrows.
They've selected, the Barangay Ginebra fans have selected JB Aram.
Well, it just goes to show, Carlo, if you're going to respond to them, they're definitely going to continue to get on you. They're not going to be quiet, that's for sure.
That's not something that you do, coach, in general. Barangay Ginebra fans. As PBA fans, sama-sama tayong mag-celebrate ng 50th anniversary ng ating liga. Abangan ang iba't ibang activities at alamin sino ang 10 additional players na idaragdag sa PBA Greatest List. Tara na, at tuloy-tuloy ang panonood ng PBA.
Well, what the Batat just did, they call caging. Where you try to slow your man down with your butt because he's behind you, and he got called for an offensive foul there. Coach Chud is not happy with that call at all.
You know, sometimes when the screen doesn't hit, just let it go. Because when you try to chase it, turnovers can happen. A 2-point lead for TNT, 25-23. Easy to jump it. Made a couple of buckets early in this game. Abarrientos for three.
So the second team of Ginebra has come in the game and they're knocking down their 3-point shots.
Malonzo with a couple. Abarrientos with one. Again, these players struggled on offense in the last game. 0 for both. As RHJ takes a hit inside.
And he's still down. Let's take a look at the replay to see exactly what happened to him.
Ronde Hollis Jefferson finally back up as we take another look at that last collision. Oh, it was
that's really
actually falling towards JP Aram. RHJ, tough customer, will shake it off and stay in this game. Coach, in game 2, it was a 27-3 advantage in bench point for TNT. That will not be the case in game 3 because Malonzo is at 6 points already. We have 3 points for RJ Barrientos and then 1 for Andrade.
Yeah, the bench of Ginebra has been much better here tonight. I was really trying to focus on Hollis Jefferson as he misses that first foul shot because you think about it, he's the one guarding Brownlee almost the whole game. So he's got to play defense and offense.
The games may be over, but the storytelling continues. Witness the journey before the glory. This is our team, the Golden Age. No episodes every Friday on One Sports Plus, and Filipinas Live.
You'll see Hollis Jefferson picking up Brownlee early.
Deadlock now at 26 apiece. Barrientos against Sambatak uses the screen. Attacks inside of Barrientos. Could not hit the layup. Rebound to TNT. Sambatak with a quick attack. Pogoy now posting up against the smaller Barrientos in the one-hander cross. That is an advantage all the time for RR Pogoy.
That's one of the best post-up guards we have in the PBA. Pogoy has some really good moves around the basket.
Lead shifts back to TNT by 2. Ball screen action, the pass back. Barrientos another 3, not this time. Rebound tap. The battle is won by Malonzo. Jamie inside, loses it on the way up. Let's scramble for it, and it will be Nambatak picking it up.
Great hustle there by TNT.
1 man down on defense. For Barangay Ginebra, it leads to a couple of buckets.
Yeah, you're correct. Malonzo did not make it back defensively, which gave the advantage to TNT that time on the fast break.
Jump it, and he starts to make noise once again. As the 2 starters are about to check in. Good bomb from Jamie. And he will take 2. Glenn Cobuntin helping out the offense. 5 points coming off the bench. But Jamie already has 6. It stays that way with a miss from the stripe. And in the finals, you see that defense is key. You had a lot of time to prepare. You get to know how Coach Tim Cone wants to activate his offense, and you plan for it. You prepare for it, leading to the dip in the numbers basically for everyone.
That's correct. And you can see where TNT also is playing stellar defense out here. That play before, Paul Aaron really created that defense as he was just tapping the ball up in the air to get it away from the Ginebra team.
Pogoy uses the screen from Eram, pulls the trigger. Good line, but strong, and that will be
I think it hit the clock.
Yep. A turnover for TNT. .657 remaining. Kati calling a play here, and they want to clear out that corner. Two-man game. Pass a little behind, but Malonzo recovers. Jamie mid-air and scores on the layup.
That was pretty good defense by TNT at that time, but they lost the basketball and they never took advantage of it.
And posting up against Japan. Luckily, he will draw a foul here. But very familiar with these two players. You saw them as breathed-in college kids when they were playing for Ateneo.
They both played football in college. And they're both very good players now.
I'm sure you had done that as well.
I had a lot of success with them.
6:24 remaining. That pass claimed by Cobuntin. There's a scramble. Nambata has it. Ray kicks it out to Pugoy. Mishandles. Pugoy attacks inside. Ejects. And they will run out of time.
It might be the second 24-second violation on TNT.
I know you always appreciate your team getting stopped, Coach Norman, but the shot clock violation means a little bit more because your team worked for it.
They
for
really
24
shut
seconds.
down the other team, yeah. On the offensive end, though, you feel kind of bad. It's going to be an offensive foul. That's a pretty easy call there.
Cobuntin took that on the chest, leading to the offensive foul, beating Chapin Aguilar.
Well,
To the
both big guys aren't happy right now. Steve Paul-Arrow and Jonathan.
Now RHJ coming right back in after a rare opportunity to miss.
Maybe what was that? 45 seconds?
Sure. I mean, usually the guy gets 48. Turnover 7 for Barangay Ginebra, only 5 for TNT. Past the midway mark now of this second quarter. Pogoy from the corner. No good. Copy Skies for the rebound. JB has space. This is from deep. Nambata with the board. Pogoy back with it. Uses the screen from RHJ. Oftana. The empty pass. Great hands coming from Brownlee. But they will run out of space. Ball will stay with TNT. 9.1 shot clock. Timeout will be requested by the TNT Tropang Giga. They will have another opportunity to add to this 1-point lead when we come back from this quick break. back inside the Phil Sports Arena for Game 3 of the final series between Ginebra and TNT. Now it's time to involve our analyst at large, Coach Ronnie Magsano. Coach Ronnie, we've talked about the 0 fast break points for TNT in Game 2, 0 in the first quarter as well. Is there anything that you can pinpoint that Barangay Ginebra is doing, preventing TNT from getting their running game going?
Definitely better shot selection for them compared to game 1 and game number 2. It's a conscious effort for them to take away one of the major strengths of TNT. And it worked well for them in that game to win, something that they will want to replicate here as they try to attempt to get a one-game advantage.
Does it mean for RJ Abarrientos to bounce back off of his tough performance in game 2?
That's the plan.
Thank you, Coach Ronnie. As we go back to this ball game, that will be a foul drawn by Calvin Oftana, and he will be ready to take 2 free throws as the action continues.
And that's what normally happens if you run up against a team that switches a lot. You're going to have a lot of matchups that aren't really perfect offensively and defensively. The offense really has to look to attack whenever they can. The mismatches, that time, Oftana took the ball strong to the hoop. In other words, if they're going to keep switching, then you've got to attack the defense so that they help force the help off those switches.
Maybe that will create openings for someone else. Split coming from Calvin Oftana.
It always helps if you can attack early because you'll have more time on your shot clock.
Rosario against Cobuntin. Couple of NU Bulldogs going head to head. Now Scotty open for 3. Gets the bounce.
Very friendly rip at times with Scotty.
34-31 now, a 3-point lead for Barangay Ginebra, matching their biggest advantage of this game. Great hand from Abarrientos. Now they get an opportunity to attack early. Malonzo, another 3. No. Chance to run a rare one for TNT, and RHJ finishes.
Showed a lot of composure that time. Almost lost the basketball, but that athleticism is there, and he was able to finish the play.
Missed secondary break on one end, leading to a fast break on the other. That's just how it goes. Great spin from JB. He is fouled for 2 free throws.
If there's one time I think Pagoy probably needs a little bit of help, it's in the post. Once Brownlee gets him deep in that post area, might want to run somebody at him, make him give up the basketball.
Already lost the ball off the time swipe coming from JB, but Hollis Jefferson recovers. And we remind you once again that UAAP Season 87 Volleyball is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity channel. What sports the Pilipinas man, because legends start here. The scoring may not be as low as game 2, but it feels like a grinded out type of matchup once again between these two squads.
As both teams are really focusing in on their defense and trying to force each offense to do something different. You know, make an extra pass or make an extra penetration.
That just speaks volumes about the quality coaching that these teams get from Coach Dem and Coach Shaw. The handoff to Oftana. Attack the corner. Kelly Williams overcooks the 3. RHJ will win them the possession back. Pogoy attacks and connects with a layup.
He faked out everybody on that play. Once again, the long arms of Hollis Jefferson was able to allow TNT to keep that basketball.
Abarrientos against Dambata. RJ fakes the pass. Could not get the bounce. Rosario inside with a smaller Reynam Batak to be.
Yeah, you saw the switch there. And the Batak ended up with Rosario underneath the basket. That's why Troy was able to get that 2 points.
Back to a 3-point advantage for Barangay Ginebra. Kelly. RHJ asking for it. The pass tapped. But Brownlee could not complete the stop. 5.8 seconds to work with for TNT. And they will have possession when we come back from this timeout. It is a 3-point lead. 38-35 for Barangay Ginebra. You're seeing some of the fans present inside the Field Court Arena. For Santa Fiesta, converted fiber experts. With Janie Manos Basas. Fourth in attendance with SVP Executive Director Erica D. Obi Cadua of Signal also here. And the Governor of the Meralco Bulls, Attorney Bill Pamentua. Kelly Williams to the corner.
Oh.
Lost it.
Flipped right out of his hands.
Turnover starting to pile up here for the TNT Tropang Giga.
Well, actually a good pass there by Pagoy, even though he could have taken that straight to the basket.
2.5 remaining in this defensive first half of action. Series advantage up for grabs here in game 3. Stephen Holt to Brownlee against Ostana. 3 on the shot clock. Brownlee makes his move. Well covered. Rosario Skies for the rebound. Reset on the shot clock. JB on the move. Left that finish. It's good.
Alice Jefferson was there, but he couldn't get to it. And once again, Rosario with the offensive rebound saves the possession for Ginebra.
5-point advantage, believe it or not. This is the biggest lead of the ball game for Barangay Ginebra. RHJ shoots over the defense of JB. Rare single coverage there on RHJ, and he takes full advantage.
And that's a good idea, getting him on the side instead of keeping him in the middle every time. Maybe mixing it up a little bit so they give different looks to the defense of Ginebra.
Barrientos, though, counters with a 3.
The threes are falling for Ginebra in this game.
Especially from the bench to a piece from Barrientos and Malonzo. Nampata. Clean swipe from Barrientos. And now Ginebra is running. Scotty to Stephen Holt. Holt penetrates, kicks it out. JB fakes. JB open for 3. Let's go!
And here at the end of the second quarter, Ginebra's starting to pull away.
Ray Nampata gets bumped. And this is an N1 opportunity to somehow silence the crowd. That is a huge conversion for Stingray. But first, 2 of the 3-point makes coming from Barrientos. The answer from Ray Nampata. And now he's gearing up for the bonus free throw. That was only 2 shots, coach, but it feels like a huge run for Barangay Ginebra.
Oh, it was a huge run.
Because of the way this game has been played.
That's right.
Ate wants to attack early, maybe get a 2-for-1. Rosario with a size advantage, and he scores off the back.
Rosario's making a difference here at the end of the second quarter.
The effort coming from Troy on a gimpy ankle and all, still chipping in. Nambata wants to attack the defense. Ray sets it up to Kobuntin of Tana. Wide open from Dave. Short arm that one. But the ball should stay with TNT. Yes, it will. 2 seconds remaining. And that will give Coach Short an opportunity to use his 30-second timeout here in the first half. Huge second quarter effort coming from Barangay Ginebra. Their offense coming alive late in this period to the delight of the Barangay Ginebra faithful present here in Pasig.
We always say that the game becomes a little bit easier if you can make your outside shot.
And SVP Executive Director, Derek Cady in attendance, SMB Governor, Robert North, and Terafirma Governor, Bobby Rotan, also present, enjoying the action. That is Justin Arana and Alex Stockton of the Converge Fiber Xers. We saw their head coach earlier. Everyone making an effort to witness what has been a well-played series between Ginebra and TNT. And we're glad that you're joining us here on PBA Rush and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pamintuan and Coach Norman Black on the call. Miss Bea Escudero is our courtside reporter.
2 seconds left on the game clock.
Well, might as well use your 30-second timeout if you're Coach Tim Cohen. Can't take it to the second half.
Coach Tim looked at the formation of the Talking Text team and of the TNT team, and they decided to call a timeout to try to come up with some type of defense.
Now, this has been the story of this series so far in game one. It was all about the three-point shooting. When you connect with 8 triples in one quarter, then you get to determine how that matchup will be played. It really helped that TNT got huge numbers from Rondé Hollis Jefferson. 2 assists shy of a triple-double. But in the second game, there were adjustments for the side of Barangay Ginebra. Limited TNT to only 4 points in the second quarter, all scored by Glenn Cobuntin. And then on the other side, Justin Brownlee elevating his game and making sure that his squad will level the series at 1 win apiece. They needed one last stop. It was delivered by Stephen Holt with some help coming from Troy Rosario and Scotty Thompson against Rondé Hollis Jefferson late in game 2. This will be a quick shot that will still be in favor of TNT.
1.1 seconds left.
So this is now a catch and shoot from the baseline.
I expect Jefferson will just get the ball and shoot it.
Here we go to beat the buzzer. That's good for RHJ. It will be reviewed, but looks like he got it off right in time.
They needed that. There's no time to do much else. Can't be shooters.
And it did leave his fingertips before the buzzer sounded. So at least one last bucket coming from the TNT Tropang Giga before the end of this first half of action. The bench has come to play for Barangay Ginebra, especially Jamie Malonzo. This guy was not able to score a single point in game 2, now making noise alongside RJ Abarrientos. They combined for 1 point in game 2, now 17 in the first half.
Yeah, the bench of Ginebra really played well in the first half of this basketball game. And I would say that's been the difference.
And it will be a 6-point advantage for Barangay Ginebra at the end of our first 24 minutes of action. The ebb and flow, the adjustments, the counter adjustments. These two primetime squads giving everyone the game that they deserve here in the final 24 minutes now. 24 minutes still remain here in game 3 before we determine which team will get the series advantage in the royal rematch of TNT and Barangay Ginebra.
To the basket, that's flash. Easy 2 points for TNT.
Could be a foul on Holt to stop the run. On the back. Just take it to Ginebra. Go in the final.
TNT, the very strong. But here, sometimes you can always call it.
Scotty Thompson, shades of Ray Lazaro back today.
Tuloy-tuloy pa.
I'm sure Coach Scott has discussed it. That's a kumpiyansa. 2 seconds remaining. Pasio. That's what you were talking about. The momentum heading into the break. And it's an open layup. I mean, 6 seconds to go. They gave an open layup. That's huge.
Look at the way TNT forms its offense. 5 out. Then the penetration inside. Oh, boy! He had that for playing 5 out. When you play 5 out, there's a lot of space for RHA to penetrate.
Shots are amazing. Difficulty, and he just threw it up. 6 points. Make that 14 on 6 of 11. Around the samahan. Brownlee makes his move. Oh! He gets it. Yes. Slicing the defense. We're in the final zone.
After a long wait, your PBA is back in the SM Mall of Asia Arena, and the two teams who competed in the Governors Cup finals are also back here in the Big Dance. This is the royal rematch between the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel squad going up against the TNT Tropang Giga to crown the champions of your PBA 49th season Commissioner's Cup.
The team is too good, too strong, too deep for us to have that kind of lead all throughout. So, like you said, they made a big run, but we came back because the players kept it. Important. This is it, the finals for all the marbles here for the Commissioner's Cup. It's going to be a good one. Once again, it's a rematch, a royal rematch is what we're calling it here. And there are the players from both these squads. TNT looking to make it 2-0. Barangay Ginebra looking to tie the series as this is game number 2, which we're calling the royal rematch. This time the both in front of it. Field. Brown is going to have his second field goal. Puts up a 3. I've been trying to get free. Ronde. Quick Second jump. Brownie for three.
Nice pass.
It's going to be ball number three on Justin Brownie. Cock is going to get blocked by RHG. Looking for a spot. It's a 3-point fade. Maverick.
Excellent screen. That's your
Nice every move. RHG. Look for RHG once again. Time for him to take over. He finds Stingray. Scotty will put up a three. Swings it. And he finally hits one. He does. Extra pass. Going for the lead. And TNT now leads for the first time. Nice stepping move. Brownie finds and hits again. Go for the winning shot here. Again, he held on to that ball. Just a little bit too long. Here for 71. TNT 70 as they take game number 2.
At the half, the score is 48-42, a 6-point lead for Barangay Ginebra. San Miguel here in Game 3. Now their best of 7 final series in the Commissioner's Cup. Carlo Pamintuan and Coach Norman Black on the call. And Coach Norman, there was an attempt from Barangay Ginebra to break away late in that second period, but Reynam Bata and RHJ made sure that they will stay within striking distance of Barangay Ginebra.
The Batang hit a 3, and of course, Hollis Jefferson hit that last second shot. You see your halftime stats on the screen right now. TNT shooting 54%, and never shooting 51%. So both teams actually shooting well from the field. Point off turnovers in favor of Ginebra right now. They have that advantage. Bench points in favor of Ginebra, as a lot of guys came off the bench and performed well for them. And you can see Ginebra's hitting their outside shots. They're hitting their three-point shots. That's one of the reasons why they're up here at halftime.
They were soundly beaten in terms of bench points, 27-3, talking about Ginebra in Game 2, but now they have the advantage in that statistical category. Your leading scorers will be the imports once again, 14 for RHA, who have done a spectacular job of bouncing back with 6 of 8 shooting from the field. Coach Norman.
Yeah, he's done a good job so far, but he only has 3 rebounds. He only has 2 assists. They have to do a little bit better sharing that basketball.
We send it over to Ms. Appleton with this interview.
Nine turnovers that translated to 13 points for Barangay Ginebra in the first half. Talk about the decision making of your players in the first 2 quarters and the adjustments you want to see in the next 2.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those turnover points really hurt us. We gotta take care of the ball. We gotta be strong and not rush things. We are getting penetrations in the paint, and we're tending to rush our decision making. So we have to make sure that we are in balance and see the defense so that we can make the right decisions.
Thank you very much, Coach Josh. Gentlemen.
Thank you for that interview, Ms. Apple David. We will have the same exact starters for Coach Tim Cohn, as we have Rosario Brownlee with Japet Aguilar, Scotty Thompson, and Holt. On the other side, we now have JP Eram, who played off the bench in the first quarter. Now starting alongside Nambata Oftana, Pagoy, and RHJ. And this will be Ray Nambata picking up from where he left off.
Very good player and ball movement on that first play by TNT. And, you know, they drive to the basket, they dish it out. We used to call it dribble drive, or you can call it drive and kick.
First local in double digits. Reynam Batak with 12 points in the game. Aguilar started off hot with 4 straight points. Quiet ever since. Nambatak pushing. They have the numbers. Oftana will finish with the left.
Great patience there by Oftana, allowing Pagoy to take off down the court. He followed right behind him for the 2 points.
A 5-0 blast for TNT at the start of this third quarter. Exactly what the doctor ordered for them. Kati beats his first man. That's Eram.
Yeah, no need to argue that. That was a foul.
Call for the foul. Was about to react, but held on to it. And now he'll admit to that personal, sending Kati to the line for 2.
One thing people don't really talk about when they talk about Scotty Thompson is his athletic ability. But the guy is really an athlete. That's why he rebounds the basketball so well. That time he took off from about the dotted line to get to the basket.
Outquicking Reynam Batak with that drive was Scotty Thompson to score the first point of Ginebra here in your second half. 2 for 2 for Scotty. He has 5 to extend their lead to 4. Or 3 rather, 50-47. Nambatak with that top ball screen. There will be a foul.
Oy.
But Timpon was requesting that a traveling violation was called up top. But it was a foul on the reception that was whistled. And reminding you that they already burned their head coach challenge in the first quarter. TNT will still have theirs. ng Batak against Brownlee. Ray reading the defense, goes to the crossover. Ng Batak hits another bucket. He has 5 here in the quarter.
And Batak has played well in this basketball game.
14 points, matching the output of Ronde Hollis Jefferson. Holds, turns the corner, extra pass, jump it inside. Nice. Hollis Jefferson to ng Batak, another 3 on the way. Good again!
Yeah, they're going to have to guard him. But he's red hot in this game.
8 points in this period for Ray ng Batak. He delivered in the third quarter of game 2 as well. That will not get the bounce. Rosario will win another offensive rebound for Ginebra. Scotty on the attack. The pull-up jumper rims out. And Pogoy finally snatches the defensive rebound for the blue shirts. Hollis Jefferson asking for a clear out on the right side. The skip pass. And out. Hits the layup.
Coach Tim's going to call a timeout. That was a blow by that time by Aram to get to the basket as he just blew by Jonathan Aguilar.
Quick attack here in the third quarter. The adjustments on point for TNT, and it is Ray ng Batak leading the charge for the Tropang Giga as they now chase the lead 54-52, prompting this time out for Coach Tim Cohn.
Nung pagka-injury ni Kuya Jason, parang lahat na iba to sa akin. So, di ako prepared doon. Thankful ako sa mga coaches, sa mga teammates ko kasi ina-advise nila ako na you don't need to be Jason Castro. You have to be the real Stingray. Yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Todd na hindi kaya ng isang tao o isang player yung ginagawang role ni Kuya Jason. So, at least 50% nun, magawa ko man lang. And then the other 50, pagtutulong-tulungan na lang namin ng mga teammates ko.
Ray ng Batak heating up here in the third quarter, and Calvin Oftana will join him there. That is a long two from Oftana, but enough to retake the lead for TNT.
The last 2 plays never has gone to Brownlee.
He'll miss this one though. As that ball was last touch, I believe by Calvin Oftana, it'll stay with Ginebra 14 on their shot clock. $17 points for Ray ng Batak. 8 coming in the third quarter. This is very close to a 5-second violation. But before this goal, there was a foul against our Pogoy. Second team foul for TNT as he sent it over to Bea.
Carlin, Coach Norman, just to quickly add on that conversation about Ray Nambatak, Ray was among the several players for TNT that was scoreless in the second quarter of game 2. According to Ray, experiencing early foul trouble really did disrupt his momentum, which he added was hard pill to swallow. Just thinking about what he could have done on the defensive end. As he put it, I reminded myself that moving forward, I must be more wary of my movements because instead of helping on the floor, it forced players like RHJ and Auren to play the point position. But for Ray, he is focused on making up for his performance in game 2, and so far, so good for Stingray. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bea. As Ray Nambata almost picked up an assist there, was sorry miss coming from Calvin Oftana. And now it leads to a foul for JP Aram on the other side.
And TNT very slow picking up on the defensive end. That's why Holmes was able to get to the basket. Now he's at the foul line. And that last defensive set for TNT, that was great defense by Aram. As he blocked the shot of Dapat Aguilar.
UAAP Season 87 Volleyball is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity channel. One Sports in Filipinas Live because legends start here.
And this has been a very competitive series. And this game has also been very competitive.
Those are the first 2 points of Stephen Holt in this match. Nambata left momentarily open. Oftana attacks the defense of Brownlee. There was a foul.
So Ginebra already used their challenge, so they don't have another challenge.
Kim Auren coming in.
And we know players rarely commit fouls, right?
We send it back to Bea.
Carlin, Coach Norman, according to Coach Sandy Ariscocochaga, the main thing that was highlighted at the half were the 9 turnovers committed by TNT, which led to Ginebra translating it to 13 big points on the other end. Coach Sandy emphasized as well the need for the players to be more patient, as he noticed a lot of hurried shots on their end. He added as well, and I quote, "We gave up 25 points to Ginebra in that second quarter, which I believe is the most in this series. We cannot be tentative on both ends of the floor, so it's about doing a better job recognizing Ginebra's defense in the last 2 quarters." Back to you guys.
This will be a bit of a problem for TNT as JP Aram was done a good job defending here in the third quarter. Just committed his 4th personal foul, and it was off a loose ball, off a rebound that was already picked up by Japet.
And we'll see whether size is really an advantage here for Ginebra.
Let's see if Ginebra can reactivate.
Yes.
Japet as Copy scores inside.
Because right now, there's a big size disadvantage going against TNT.
Oftana dives for the loose ball. Brownlee does the same. And it'll be claimed by Nambata. Quick attack for Ray. Kick out pass. Kobutin. Open for 3. It's gone!
Great vision that time by Oftana, finding the open man.
Uh-oh. Brownlee is holding on to his hand. Might have dislocated the finger.
But for them to stop the game like this, it must be something serious.
You can see our PBA doctor helping out with the trainer of Barangay Ginebra. Could have happened when he dove for that loose ball, coach.
Yeah, but 2 players actually dove for the basketball. TNT came up with the ball.
He might have to be subbed out of this game.
Well, you hate to see this because, first of all, it's been a great game so far. Not sure exactly, or maybe somewhere there.
We won't exactly see what transpires, but what's clear is that Brownlee will have to step out of this matchup.
Well, you know, as players go through a season, Carlos, a lot of times they do injure their hands, their fingers. And that time he actually dove on the floor for the basketball, so he might have re-injured something.
Your player, Chris Newsom, does it maybe every other game.
Yeah, he has a problem with both hands.
Of the intensity of how he plays. That's just part of the game. And the lead is at 1 point for TNT, 59-58. It will be Jamie Malonzo coming in for Brownlee. Only 5 to work with here. Thompson has to put it up. That's a miss. And Rosario wins them an extra possession with this effort during a foul.
So we'll see whether Coach Judd brings Kelly Williams back in the game, because right now he is lacking a little bit of size.
He started in this matchup. Played 11 minutes in the first half. Gotti with a pocket pass. Extra pass to Jamie. Good recovery on D from Malonzo. Jamie, the jumper off. Rebound. There's a scramble. And it will be won by RHJ. Oftana leaves it for Nambata. Ray. Lost it. But they're saying that it was last touched by the defense.
Well, Hollis Jefferson was wide open at the top right there. Batak missed him on that play.
Trainers of Barangay Ginebra still working on Justin Brownlee, and he is wincing in pain. We're looking at him right now as there's a lull in the action. Kelly Williams about to check back into this contest. RHJ versus Stephen Holt. Hollis Jefferson, the turnaround jumper, no. Aurin wins the rebound, and he draws a foul from Holt.
Well, that's Hollis Jefferson's shot, that little turnaround where he jumps over his defensive player. Looking at Justin Brownlee on the bench, the bad thing for Ginebra is it seems to be his right hand, which is his shooting hand. A lot of times, if it's your off hand, you can get away with it. Just wrap it up and keep playing.
And that will be their trainer, RC Cole, working with Justin Brownlee. And Awafana, the short corner jumper, no. Kelly Williams fighting for the rebound, but it is picked up by Scotty Thompson. Malonzo to Thompson, inside down to Troy. Rosario against Cobontin. The former teammates banging inside. Rosario misses. Cobontin with a rebound. These should be important moments, important minutes for TNT. Try to take advantage as Brownlee is not on the floor. Aurin, pull-up jumper, the long two won't work.
Well, let's see what they call this one on. Are they going to call it on Holt? As he was holding down Williams. Coach Judd is asking for his players to space the floor and allow Jefferson to attack from the middle.
14 seconds on the shot. Fresh 14 on the clock here for TNT. They're in penalty. Barangay Ginebra just committed their 4th team foul. We still have about 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Aurin. His pass lands. Kelly almost throws it away, but it bounces off of a Barangay Ginebra defender. I think Justin Brownlee is headed to their dugout right now.
But that's never a good sign.
Hollis Jefferson, the pull-up J won't go. You just want to hang on if you're Barangay Ginebra. Wait for Justin Brownlee to be ready to check back into this game. Scotty Thompson will have to lead them. Malonzo, the swing pass, hold for 3.
Yeah.
That's gone.
And once again, that comes off with a penetration of Scotty Thompson, who passed the ball to the corner and he never hits that shot when the ball reversal.
Leaches back to Barangay Ginebra. RHJ, to Oftana for 3. Hits the counter.
And this is just really good basketball we're seeing here tonight.
Oh, that's a push.
And I say that because you can see the ball movement.
Yeah.
Guys help defensively, the ball comes out. There's nobody there for the last rotation. They knock it down. On the other end, there's the help defense. Ball comes out. Oftana knocks down the 3.
Bad foul to give up if you're Glenn Cobontin because TNT is in penalty. Misses the first free throw though. As we remind our PBA fans, sama-sama tayo mag-celebrate ng 50th anniversary ng ating liga. Abangan ang iba't ibang activities at alamin sino ang
Hello.
10 additional players na idaragdag sa PBA's greatest list. Tara na at tuloy-tuloy ang panonood ng PBA at split from Troy Rosario. Evens the count at 62. Yet no natural point guard on the floor for TNT. With the exit of Reynam Bata, who powered their offense early here in this third quarter.
And that shot clock is running down.
Togoy launches. No good. Rebound Scotty. That ball went nowhere for TNT. Now a tight advantage for Malonzo. Posting up against Bogoy. Malonzo, the short jumper. No. Rebound battle picked up by Kelly. And for Barangay Ginebra, at least they're not being beaten in the Brownlee-less minutes in this game. What a pass inside! And that will be a foul drawn by Kim Oren.
It's a late call there, but it's a good call. And really good pass coming from Hollis Jefferson. Both teams are having to fight for everything. Nothing's easy right now.
The games may be over, but the storytelling continues. Witness the journey before the glory. This is our team, the Golden Age. New episodes every Friday on One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. Coach team going small. A point guard in for a 4 in Troy Rosario. Second free throw for Kim Aurin. Breaks the deadlock. Three minutes remaining in our third quarter. This is game 3 of your best of 7 final series. Japan won't be able to recover.
There's going to be a turnover on Scotty Thompson.
Good idea, just could not execute it perfectly as we have a timeout here for TNT protecting a 1-point lead.
You are still watching Game 3 of the finals between Ginebra and TNT on PBA Rush. Justin Brownlee dislocated his right thumb early in the third quarter of this ball game. He was seen shouting in excruciating pain over at the bench, and it's still taking a while for the medical staff to pop it back to place. Right now, he was brought to the Ginebra dugout and is currently still being attended to. More updates later on. Back to you, Carlo and Coach Norman.
Thank you for that report. As Justin Brownlee, I think it happened on that dive. Immediately, he was holding on to it, and you can see Arcicoa doing his very best to help Justin Brownlee out. Again, the problem, as you said, Coach Norman, that is his shooting hand.
Yeah, that's his shooting hand. If it is really a dislocated thumb, it's going to be very difficult for him to come back. It could be a game changer here.
RHJ splits the double team, could not back it home on the second effort. He draws a foul for 2.
And Hollis Jefferson has been missing a few shots here in the second half, but his energy and his hustle has been there. As he missed that shot, he followed it up. He's going to get a chance for 2 foul shots.
Reynang Batak is their leading scorer with 17. RH Shea 14. Oftana with 13 in this game. As we remind you once again that the UAAP Season 87 volleyball action is live and exclusive here on Signal. Watch it all live on the UAAP Varsity Channel, One Sports, and Filipinas Live because legends start here.
Actually broke my right hand, right thumb on my right hand when I was playing for Great Taste, and it's painful.
Yep. It's tough to even hold that basketball. Chapet, guys, misses. Great help defense. And they complete the stop. TNT on the run. RHJ leaves it for Kim Aurin for 3. Good!
And Coach Tim calls a timeout. Ginebra, one thing you really have to do in this game, you've got to get back defensively and match up. Can't give up wide open 3-point shots off of penetration.
It will be a full timeout for Barangay Ginebra. The lead is at 5 for TNT, 67-62. The 3-point shooting of the TNT Tropang Giga was on point in game 1. They had 8 in the first quarter alone. They had 6 in total. In game 2 of their series, it is a huge weapon for the Tropang Giga. And now it's starting to bite once again, especially here in the third quarter. They're 8 of 17 from downtown as they lead by 5. Sorry, 9 of 18 after that last 3-point conversion. Stephen Holt did not knock down the counter as Kelly Williams yanks the rebound away. Minute and 40 left in your third period. Aurin. They're looking for RHJ. Scotty Thompson, ambush steal. And now they're on the run. Scotty uses the bomb and hits the layup.
And he got bumped on that play, too. That could have easily been a foul.
A rare gamble there on a takeaway coming from Scotty, but he feels that it is needed to stay within striking distance of TNT. RHJ to Nambata, back in the ball game. Off the spin, Nambata, short fadeaway is pure.
Batak has serious break fluid, right? Not only to be able to stop, but to spin in the lane and still make the shot.
Back to a 5-point lead. They trap RJ Barrientos. Malonzo goes to the pull-up jumper against Pugoy. Won't go. That ball lost to the baseline by RHJ. We are still not seeing Justin Brownlee on the bench of Barangay Ginebra. And you can see there are players seated right now, turning their heads from time to time, trying to determine if Brownlee is fit to play, ready to rejoin them here in this game.
Hold. Perfect pass. And Rosario scores on the layup.
That time Rosario was able to score over Hollis Jefferson, but it looks like Hollis Jefferson is bleeding. He got hit in the face. TNT has become more aggressive defensively now without Brownlee on the court.
Referee saying that it was incidental contact as it was Rosario going up for the layup. It doesn't appear like he entered the defensive cylinder or extended his arm too much.
Looked more like a scratch than maybe a hit. As he was protecting the basketball.
Oh boy, so both teams without their imports for the time being. Final 25 seconds of your third quarter. We started this period with Ginebra up by 6. But Nambata started the turnaround for TNT. Both teams in penalty. Oftana making a move. The short quarter jumper hits the side of the backboard, recovers, and gets the end one.
Barrientos challenged the shot, and he forgot to box out. And we all know Calvin stands about 6'6", so he was able to get to the basket for the offensive rebound to score. You can see he doesn't box out there, and he just moves right in. There's nothing that Scotty could do.
And that left the defense out of position. Lucky break for Oftana. Got the ball bounce off the side of the backboard. Now on the line. He completes a 3-point play. For to score. Good hands coming from Kim Aurin. He can still attempt, but he'll decide to hang on to this basketball. A stop for TNT, which will lead to this 12-point turnaround for the Tropang Giga. Down by 6.5, up by 6 to start the fourth quarter, 70-66. Heading into the final period of Game 3. In the first 2 games of the series, the import that won the head-to-head battle led his team to a victory. Now, interestingly, as we start the fourth quarter, both imports are not on the floor. Dislocated thumb for Justin Brownlee. A small cut on the face of Ronde Hollis Jefferson, as it will be the locals matched up to begin our final period. Again, we thank you for joining us on PBA Rush and Filipinas Live. Carlo Pamentuan and Coach Norman Black on the call. RJ Abarrientos misses on the 3. Ahanisi wins him an extra possession, but they could not locate a wide open Troy Rosario inside. Troy fakes the handoff, attacks the defense of Kelly, and finishes strong with the layup.
He really faked Kelly that time and went to his right hand for the 2 points.
Strong effort coming from Troy Rosario, double-digit scoring in this game. Oftana runs into trouble, but they recover. Nambatak with it. Another pull-up jumper. He is on fire.
When you give him 2 dribbles and let him pull up, he gets a lot of height on his shot. Been able to knock them down.
Are we seeing Ray Nambatak throwing up right in front of our very eyes, stepping in to the main point guard role for the injured Jason Castro? Elbow jumper is gone. It connects for Scotty Thompson. And Coach Norm, without Justin Brownlee, it'll have to be Scotty Thompson running the show for Ginebra.
A lot of good ball movement, making sure player movement is there, so that they can get good shots at the basket.
Oftana short on the three-point attempt. Rebound claimed by Ginebra. They're down by 4. Ahan Misi with it. Rare 3-guard lineup for Coach Tim Cone. Malonzo with space. Gets a friendly bounce.
And you can see that player movement and ball movement. That's why Ginebra been getting good shots at the hoop.
And we might just see Rondé Hollis Jefferson coming back after this early timeout in the fourth quarter for TNT, as the lead is down to just 2 points for the Tropang Giga. Mid-range game on point for Scotty and Jamie leading into this timeout. Rondé Hollis Jefferson back in the ball game to try and arrest this slow start for TNT here in this final quarter. He is with Nambatak, Kelly Williams, R.R. Pagoy, and Kim Aurin. It's only a 2-point game now. Nambatak with the basketball against Malonzo. RHJ gets a touch. Hollis Jefferson against Ahan Misi. He can shoot over him. Comes up short. And now Scotty with a rebound. He's trying to push. But the defense quick to get down here for TNT. Malonzo, Rosario, Abarrientos, Ahan Misi, and Thompson the 5 for Coach Tim. Troy making his move. Turnaround jumper short. That ball tapped out of bounds by Kim Aurin. 3.4 to work with. And it'll be the veteran point guard, Maverick Ahan Misi, triggering the play. He locates Jamie Malone, so he'll have to take this shot. He misses everything, and that will be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, good defense that time by TNT. They covered all the offensive weapons for Ginebra. It'll be interesting to see where the points come from Ginebra. They've been moving the ball absolutely well. They've been good player movement. And somebody's going to have to take control here.
What do you have for us, babe?
Carlo and Coach Norman, just a quick update on both imports. Randy Hollis Jefferson did sustain a small cut on his right cheekbone. The medical staff immediately attended to him and placed a bandage. So RHA is good to go for the rest of the fourth quarter. Now, as for Justin Brownlee, he is still in the Ginebra dugout after sustaining a dislocated right thumb. According to the team PT, they are preparing to bring JB to the hospital. Back to you guys.
Oh, that is huge. That is a big update. If Justin Brownlee won't be able to come back into this game, this local crew will have to step up big time against TNT. Nambata misses everything. Aurin with the offensive rebound.
23 seconds left.
Aurin dribbles to a tough spot. Misses that three as well.
And so far, he never been playing them tough.
Well, they're NSD for a reason. And now Scotty with Nambata on him. They're clearing space for Scotty. He attacks, stretches for the layup, could not hit it. Early attack here for TNT. And that will be a traveling violation. Referee saying it was take off and land on the same foot. Nambata saying he did it
Might as well
simultaneously.
you might as well save your energy. Just come back and play defense.
8.5 left. And this war of attrition. Troy. Can he deliver the goods here in the end game? Another drive against Kelly. Could not finish this time.
A good recovery that time by Kelly Williams, catching up with Rosario.
Almost a turnover for TNT. Hollis Jefferson to Aurin. Launches from deep. That's off. Rebound Malonzo.
All of a sudden, both teams did not score.
4 minutes gone by here in your final quarter. Abarientos.
Oh!
Goes to the stats back. The three. Oh!
Now that was a serious move. Good crossover that time by Abrientos.
And that injects life into the Barangay Ginebra faithful. Reynam Batak cannot quiet them down. Scotty pushing. Messi for three. It's there!
The coach calls a timeout.
Look at this snatchback, completely erasing Kim Aurin from the situation. RJ Abarrientos with a big time three to take the lead for Barangay Ginebra. And right after that, Scotty Thompson pushing, trusting his veteran, trusting Maverick Ahanisi, who drains it from downtown. And now they extend their lead at this stage of the ballgame, 77-74, a 3-point lead for Ginebra. Umangat pa ang mga bida sa gilid ng ring. A three from Barrientos and then a long two for Maverick Ahan Macy will give Barangay Ginebra a 3-point lead here. He was scoreless in game two, but you cannot completely stop a player of his caliber, a player of the talent of RJ Barrientos. Now it's the bench standing tall for Barangay Ginebra, powering this 11-2 fourth quarter start. TNT in need of a bucket. Eram open from the corner. That is big time from JP Eram.
That's a big shot by Aram. Coming off the bench there for Kelly Williams.
Side ball game, 77 apiece. 6:50 remaining in this match. And Justin Brownlee preparing to head to the hospital to get his hand checked. There's a switch. Barrientos being defended by Era. RJ making his move. Era right there with him. And they are forced to a miss. Barrientos saves the day.
Well, the TNT players were right there, but they could not get that offensive rebound. Barrientos is making some big plays here in the fourth quarter.
2-point lead for Barangay Ginebra. Oftana directing traffic. Pugoy now has it. They're leaving Boy Eram open from the corner. JP against Troy. Eram dumps it inside. Pass wasn't perfect. And that's a foul. Called on Malonzo. RHJ will take two.
A good pump fake there by Hollis Jefferson to get that shot off. You can see the ball just landed on the ground right back to Barrientos, who made the basket. But the fighting spirit of the Ginebra team is really there right now. They're not allowing TNT to pull away. Matter of fact, they have a 2-point lead.
13 points for RJ Barrientos showing up from the bench alongside Jamie Malonzo, also scoring in double digits. Slow second half for Ronde Hollis Jefferson. That is only his second point of the second half. 16 markers in the game. Jamie against RHJ. We're past the midway mark now of this final quarter for game 3. Barrientos wants to take on Oftana. RJ, one-on-one. Makes his move, creates space. Misses on the jumper. Rebound picked up by JP Era. TNT, they want the lead back. A quick attack. Hollis Jefferson finishes off the glass.
So taking on the entire team, Hollis Jefferson puts his team back up by 1 point. We'll see how long Johnny Thompson stays on the bench for Ginebra.
Stephen Holt with Oftana on him. Goes behind his back. Now, Barrientos on the switch. Same old matchup. RJ against Oftana. Barrientos trying to create. Tough shot. Won't work. Rebound once again for TNT.
Yeah, 2 tough shots there by Barrientos.
Aurin attacks. Couldn't convert. Rebound to Barrientos. Wasted opportunity for TNT. How can Barangay Ginebra vary up their offense? It has looked off ever since Scotty Thompson stepped out of this ball game. Malonzo working on Kim Aurin. Draws the double. Big time denial from Eram. And he will complete the stop.
And Aram cannot resist playing with the crowd here. Look at this block shot by Aram. A really good defensive player.
And that bounce off of the face of JB Malonzo. JP Aram reminding them just how big that stop was. A chance to add to their 1-point lead when we come back from this timeout. Ronde Hollis Jefferson and Justin Brownlee, perhaps two of the very best imports that we've ever seen in the PBA. Brownlee stepping out of this ball game in the third quarter, diving for a loose ball, dislocating his right thumb. He'll exit 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. For Ronde Hollis Jefferson, this second half has not been pretty. Only 4 points in the third and fourth quarters, but for him, the scoring doesn't matter as long as he can play with the same effort on the other side. Play with defense, set up your teammates, and help them be in the position to build a 2-1 series lead against Barangay Ginebra here in this best of 7.
So Hollis Jefferson still in the game, so he can still make his mark here in the second half.
But as Ms. Bea Escudero reported earlier, some of the medical staff of Barangay Ginebra preparing to join Justin Brownlee to go to the hospital.
I'm sure they're going to get it x-rayed or MRI, whatever it takes to find out exactly what's wrong with him.
But what's important here for Barangay Ginebra is that Scotty got a bit of a break here in the fourth quarter. The offense was off without him leading the charge now back in this game. 4 starters alongside Jamie Malonzo for Coach Tim. Nambata leading the charge here in the second half for TNT. RHJ starting to make his move. Hollis Jefferson to Nambata. He attacks. Nambata swatted away by Japet.
And that's something that Jop has been doing for years. He's definitely one of the best shot blockers the PBA has ever seen.
Big block from JP Rama response. An equally emphatic block from Japet. 3.2 to work with. Hollis Jefferson must make a move. He steps out of bounds, and that's a turnover for TNT.
So you got to give Holt some credit. He's the one out here guarding Hollis Jefferson, and he's doing a good job. You can see him on the baseline as the foot of Hollis Jefferson flips over the line.
Holt has it now, and I'm jumping on the switch. There's a mismatch inside. Oh, but the pass was off. Was it tapped?
No.
Was it tapped? That's the question
Yeah, it's
now.
not by
They're saying it was tapped.
It was. There was a delay from the referees, but the ball will stay with Barangay Ginebra 8 on their shot clock. Scotty Thompson, the inbounder. Holt has it versus Nambata. Stephen makes this move. The drop pass. Rosario retakes the lead for Ginebra.
That was a tight play there for the Ginebra team to get those 2 points.
Nambata, can he complete his heroics with a win here? Pogoy has not yet scored in the second half. He's looking for options. Pogoy still with it. Only 5 remaining. He hits the break, comes up short. Rebound Rosario. Scotty Thompson asking for a top ball screen with Japet. They jump on him. They'll force him to give up this basketball. The trap. Thompson. Emergency pass to Rosario. They'll have to attack. Malonzo for 3. No. Rebound ng Bata. Tropang Giga down by 1. Ng Bata. Goes to Eram. JP on the move. Eram loses the basketball. Malonzo, the quick attack. Malonzo misses. Rosario, second effort, no. Rebound, Pugoy quickly to Ostana. Gavin, around. He will be called for the offensive foul.
Yakin. Yakin.
Both teams are a little bit out of control right now. But the energy is there.
And Coach Chotreyes not using his head coach challenge.
Ay, kita-kita. Foul.
Well, that looked like an obvious offensive foul. I would not use it there. As Aaron could not get rid of that basketball, he's going to be taken out of the game.
With 5 personal fouls against him.
Other team's going to come in. The thing for TNT now is they have to control their rebounds because they have a small team on the floor.
1 point lead for Barangay Ginebra. 2:15 remaining in this game. There's a mismatch. Rosario being defended by Pugoy. Thompson on his own. Scotty is fouled. He'll take 2.
So this is a championship series, and this is where heroes are made. They've got to take over the game when it's on the line. It's just 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this one.
So there will be a review to see if it will be an ordinary foul tagged against TNT or something more. Could be a crucial call coming up here.
Let's take a look at what happens here. As Scotty goes to the basket.
So he gets clipped on the way down. Looks like incidental contact between him and Ronde Hollis Jefferson. Ooh, that's tough. Could be a cut also.
Yeah, that's incidental. That's a hard hit.
Tough
But
incident
you're
to
right,
swallow,
though.
but can't
Yeah,
make a call on it.
Obviously, he didn't do it on purpose.
But what's
But it
important
still
for
happened.
Barangay Ginebra, Coach Norman, is that Scotty Thompson can extend their lead with these 2 free throws coming right up.
Well, this has been a fantastic battle by Ginebra. With Justin Brownlee being out on his way to the hospital for a possible broken hand or dislocated thumb.
And now the 2 trainers making sure that there's no blood gushing from their players. It feels like the 12th round of a heavyweight boxing match. Hollis Jefferson sliced up earlier. Now Scotty Thompson dripping blood as well.
What we're seeing is both teams have to fight for everything they get. Nothing is coming easy.
Scotty Thompson on the line. Testy free throws. The first one. Strong. Made both free throws before this.
So let's see what happens on the other end with TNT. What type of offensive play did Coach Chuck Reyes call in that last lull?
Second free throw for Scotty is good to extend their lead to 2.
Last
82 to 80 as we're at the final 2 minutes of game 3. Bogoy to RHJ against Malonzo. Hollis Jefferson makes his move and he gets the bounce to tie the contest.
And that's a tough shot. That was good defense on that play. And Jefferson was still able to make the basket.
$82 to 82 shot clock is at a dozen for Ginebra. Both teams not yet in penalties. Scotty against Pugoy. Thompson posting up. Good poke from Pugoy. Step away jumper. Won't go. The rebound. It's claimed by Rosario. Fresh shot clock for Barangay Ginebra. Thompson on Cobuntin after the switch. Scotty starting to make a move. Thompson on the drive. Chop it. Has it against RHJ. Aguilar to hold. Baseline drive. Reverse. Bothered by Hollis Jefferson. And they get a big time stop. Nabatak inside. Oftana with a big Oftana. Oh, for Takemi. Cobuntin gives it up. And now they reset. Pugoy steps into a 3. No. Oftana with the rebound. Nambata, one-hander, no! Another opportunity for TNT. Nambata from the corner! No!
What was that? 3, 4 offensive rebounds on one play.
The TNT Tropang Giga had so many opportunities. They keep fighting for that loose ball, keep on trusting each other. And at the last moment, it led to an opening. Ray Nambata with what is possibly a career-defining moment. A three-point shot to push him ahead, 85-82 in this game.
He's played a great game for TNT. He's been their leading scorer almost the entire game. But what great hustle coming from the big guys, the small guys of the TNT club, getting all those offensive rebounds to keep that ball alive.
When Jason Castro went down with the injury, all eyes were on Ray Nambata to step up and deliver for the Blur. He shied away from it for a moment. He struggled with the burden on his shoulders because the Blur needs big shoes to fill. But Nambata here in game 3 stepped up, started the turnaround in the third quarter, and he delivered on the biggest shot of this game so far, but it is by no means done. 30 seconds remaining.
Well, we have to see what's going to happen with Ginebra. They're down by 3. There's 30 seconds left in the game. Will they go for a 2? I sure would if I could get one immediately. But if you get an open 3, could you take it? Probably. So Ginebra has really fought hard in this game. But you got to give the TNT team a lot of credit because that was really a game-winning sequence. That last one where they got 4 offensive rebounds on one set.
Coach Timcone, a fall, a 30, a foul to give. Coach Reyes, 2 falls, a 30, and also a foul to give. Coach Short will go offense, defense. Ray Nambata will take a break. In comes Kelly Williams. 3-point shooting. A slim advantage of 2 3-point conversions for TNT. Ginebra will inbound on their side of the court for 14-second shot clock. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Scotty delivers the jump in on the first touch. Aguilar looking at Abarrientos. There's a switch. Abarrientos on Kelly Williams. RJ. Tough pass. It's stolen by RJ. Hollis Jefferson sends it forward. Glenn Cabutin. It's gone. No timeouts coming from Coach Tim. They'll play through this. Scotty looking for options. Rosario wants 4. Can't get it. Rebound Scotty. 3 from the corner. It's gone.
2.6 seconds left.
Barangay Ginebra refusing to go down without a fight even after that huge turnover, that huge fast break layup from Glenn Cabutin. They fight through and they gave themselves at least an opportunity to get back into it.
We'll see how they handle this with 2.6 seconds left. As Abriento's passing the basketball off, it gets stolen. That's going to lead to a layup for TNT. The team goes to the basket for the 2 points.
How about Kelly Williams staying in front of a player that's basically 2 decades his junior? Quicker, smaller,
Yeah,
shiftier.
you're right. That's correct. That's why he's been in the league so long, because of his defensive abilities.
87-85. For Barangay Ginebra, it'll have to be a very quick foul. TNT will inbound on their side of the court.
I'm not sure whether TNT will foul with that little of a time left, because there's a possibility that they foul in the act of shooting. But if they can get a clean hit at the basketball, they probably will foul. Trying to take a little bit of time off the clock.
We have one post as a question. If they're fouled, do they miss the second free throw and then just play on for the final 2.6? Meanwhile, Scotty Thompson, after the exit of Justin Brownlee, has done his very best to lead Barangay Ginebra to a win here in Game 3. Just made that three-point shot that at least keeps them in the game. But whatever the result will be for this game, for Barangay Ginebra, it was another statement of what NSD is all about. You lose an import like Justin Brownlee in the third quarter, but you battle TNT toe to toe as they sport one of the best imports we've ever seen in Ronde Hollis Jefferson. They're hoping for a miracle in the final 2.6.
Let's see how quickly they can foul on this play and send TNT to the line. I think you have to almost foul on the catch.
Coach Tim Cone looked at the lay of the land, calls a 30-second timeout. So he has one more timeout remaining. Just wanted to know the setup, where the placement was going to be for TNT.
Well, we do have the 4-point shot now, so the only problem is, like you said earlier, there's a possibility, even if they foul the TNT team, they'll get to the line, they'll miss that second shot, just so it's a longer pass or a longer shot for Ginebra.
Yeah, and it'll have to be a quick foul for Barangay Ginebra. Well, Coach Norman, it'll have to be 2 quick fouls because they're not yet in penalty, which works against you in this type of situation.
Yeah, the fact is you haven't been fouling, correct.
And if you're TNT, do you turn around and try to take a 3 or a 4-point shot and expect the foul to get 3, 4 free throws?
No, probably not. You just want to protect the basketball. Make sure you don't give it to them. It's almost an impossible situation here for Ginebra. The fact that they do have to foul a couple of times to get the ball back.
But all they can do now is work and hope. Kelly Williams, the inbounder, being bothered by Japet. A 5-second call will be golden for them. They locate RHJ, quickly fouled.
1.6. Let's see if they go to the scores table to add some time on that clock.
Again, with no player timeouts, it has gotten so difficult to bounce back from these endgame situations.
Well, Coach Tim is asking for that. He's asking for them to go over and take a look at the clock.
Every millisecond matters.
Yeah, every second counts right now.
Just final instructions coming from Coach Tim Cone, whispered to Jamie Malonzo.
What you mentioned earlier is probably going to happen, though. If they get this foul and TNT goes to the foul line, I'm sure they're not going to make both. They're going to force Ginebra to make a long shot to tie the game or to win the game.
Again, the perfect situation for Barangay Ginebra is to get a 5-second violation. The clock not moving, they get a turnover, they get to call a timeout. So it will be...
Yeah, that might be the only hope right now.
So it will be Japet, Manning, Kelly Williams, bothering. Nambata throws it up. Doesn't matter where it falls. A TNT Tropang Giga take a 2-1 series advantage against Barangay Ginebra. Coach, this game had everything. We saw NSD in full display coming from Barangay Ginebra, but when push came to shove, the locals stepped up from TNT as well. We've been talking about Ronde Hollis Jefferson all series long, but it is Ray Nambata who comes in and saves the day for them, and he is our best player of the game, brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
Yeah, he should be the best player. He made the big shots. He made the big plays. He was consistent throughout. Of course, Hollis Jefferson also had a big effect on this game today. That was
9
a big
points.
shot from the corner there off that offensive rebound.
9 points in the first half, and then exploded for 15 in the second half. Reynam Batak with a career-defining performance on the lead now for TNT, and they win this 87-85. Our final score is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. And from the game, the story now shifts over to the state of Justin Brownlee. How will he be moving forward in this series as we play at the Inares Center in Antipolo this coming Friday for Game 4 of this best of 7?
Welcome to our post-game press conference. We have our player of the game, Raymond Nambatak, and Coach Chot Reyes of TNT. Gentlemen, congratulations. Coach Chot, another tough, close, emotional, physical game. What did it take to win Game 3?
Took our very best. We actually talked about it when Justin went out, and I told the players this is going to be, we're going to see the best Ginebra here. Even without Justin, we have to be at our best. So I just reminded the players how strong and how deep that team is, and not to let our guards down, even with Brownlee out of the game. I thought the key was when they went on a 3-point lead in the last 5 or 6 minutes, we didn't panic and we stayed down.
Thank you, Coach. Now, Ray, 24 points. This is your highest output in a TNT uniform and your playoffs career high as well. Talk about yung decision making. Take us back yung naging thought process mo, the last few plays, even to the last play na you just threw the ball. It was a smart decision as well.
Yun nga yung lagi kong sinasabi sa interview and sa mga sinasabi sa akin na kailangan importante yung decision making ko sa loob. Lalo na wala si Kuya Jason. So I need to make good decisions, especially yung mga ganong moment, yung mga ganong end game na mga laro. So at least nag-pay off naman, especially yung mga extra shots na ginagawa sa practice, and then yun nga, just go with the flow lang. Sinusunod ko lang yung sistema ni Coach Chot, and then isa sa malaking factor din is yung may tiwala talaga mga teammates ko sa akin.
Game highlights brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. In the first quarter, the offense flowed early for both these squads. Calvin Ostana